Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson.
When I met you, I had my daughter in tow, and this show, I have my daughter in tow because she decided to wake up from her nap.
Motherhood is both amazing and difficult at the same time. The Passport Mommy, Michelle Jerson, is here to share in your journey.
It's amazing. It really is, just watching them grow and see how much change and how much they learn just without the filters around them as you get older.
Motherhood is a journey that can take you off the beaten path. Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy, is here to help you navigate.
You are awesome.
Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. I hope you're enjoying your day. As you know, if you listen to the program, I have a 2.5-month-old at this point, and I can't believe he is already 2.5 months. You might hear him in the background right now. He's hiccuping, but he's my little buddy next to me as I record this radio show. And just 2.5 months ago, we were in the hospital. I had just given birth, and I was so happy to see the photographer from Bella Baby, because as crazy as things might be when you are giving birth and all the things that are going on in the hospital room, I couldn't wait to capture these wonderful moments with this little guy and his big sister, my daughter, who is now a little over 2 years old. And I had such a great experience with them. And so I wanted to have on the show with me Emily Swift. She is the photographer lead for Hartford and Connecticut with the Bella Baby. She has photographed hundreds and hundreds of moms and babies and is passionate about her job and loves being a photographer. Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I actually just got home from a really fun day at the hospital, and I'm excited to be talking with you.
Nice. So how many moms and babies and dads did you shoot today?
So today was a pretty slow day. I only ended up doing 3 families today. So it was kind of nice because the past few weeks have been a little crazy.
I'm sure. It's so funny. It seems like people give birth like all at once, or then it's slow. Like, what makes people all of a sudden just decide? What's that?
That's exactly how it happens, I swear. It's like one day you only have like 2 or 3 moms to photograph, and then the next day you have like 15.
That's very funny. So tell me a little bit about what can people do if they're thinking about getting these Fresh 48 photos, which are photos that are taken within the first 2 days of your child's birth. How can one prepare for them?
So the way that we have all of our employees trained and the way that we kind of structure the service that we provide, the great thing about it is we don't expect the moms to prepare for us, because things are so crazy when you have that baby and life is so hectic and you have so many people running in and out of your room. There's never actually a good time for it. And so we kind of structure it in a way where we come prepared for you. Now, of course, if you have a special blanket you want us to incorporate, or a really cute headband or things like that, like, we love to incorporate things the parents bring from home. But it's also at the same time not necessary for the moms to prepare, because we bring with us a little bit of ribbon. We have blue for the boys, pink for the girls. We also have gray ribbon if the parents prefer that. And there's a way that we can wrap the hospital receiving blanket so it just looks like a white blanket. So it sounds, a little plain, but the great thing about keeping it so simple is it really puts the focus on the baby,
right,
which is something that I think people really appreciate. Once you start having too many props incorporated, it's really cute, but it almost takes a little bit away from this fresh baby that we really want to focus on.
Right. I agree. I mean, I think some of those pictures can be really adorable, but like you said, you get wrapped up in all of the props and you're like, well, every baby looks the same because they're so wrapped up and there's so many things on them that you can't really see much of them anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we've had parents bring in those little signs that you can customize and put the baby's name and weight and all that, and things like that are super cute. Or some people will bring the blanket that the older sibling got photographed in, or one thing we love is like those matching swaddle sets that have the swaddle blanket and then the matching headband. Those are super cute. So little things like that, if a mom really has an idea that she loves, we're so happy to incorporate it. But we also, since our services, not everybody knows about it, we totally come prepared if the mom, surprisingly goes into labor and doesn't get to grab her baby bag or,
Right.
things like that. We're totally prepared for that as well.
That's great. And tell me, how do you get if there is an older sibling? Because you never know what their emotional state will be at the time, if they'll be thrilled, if there's going to be jealousy. How do you find it is when you're photographing them as well with the family?
Oh man, so there is a total science behind this, I swear. Toddlers are a breed that is like, unless you have your own toddler or a toddler in your life you're very close with, they can be, you never really know what you're going to get with them.
Right.
So the best way to incorporate the toddler in the photos is like, treat it like a game. Like you have to make it seem like it was their idea, because if you go to a 2-year-old and you say, oh, do you want a photo with your new baby sister? The answer is typically going to be no.
Right.
So the great thing about doing the photos right in the hospital room is you have that bed that you can adjust to whatever angle you need it to be. So what I like to do is I get the toddler and I'm like, oh, we're gonna lay in mommy's bed, and get them all like, ooh, yay, like something exciting. And
Right.
So what I do is I set up the bed so it's the right angle so the toddler can sit but also be kind of laying down. And that way the baby can be placed next to the toddler nice and safely, so the toddler is not responsible for really holding the baby.
Right.
You never know what you're going to get with that either. And that tends to work out really nicely. If you have them laying next to each other, you frame it just right. It looks like they're sitting with one another, but it's a very safe way to keep it, the toddler involved and get that shot.
Right. Oh, that's excellent, because you're so right. You don't know how they're going to react or what they're going to do. Even now, my little girl is wonderful with her little brother, but at times she gets a little crazy.
Good.
Little brother. And then she starts like getting a little rougher. It's like, calm down.
Yeah. Toddlers are for sure a different breed.
Yes, absolutely. So is there any way, if parents want to get in touch with you either before the shoot or right after, how would they go about doing that?
Everything can be found directly on our website, just bellababyphotography.com. From there, you can get in touch with our customer service, and we're happy to accommodate moms in whatever way that they hope to be accommodated. Directly after the photo shoot, we do give moms information to go home with, and one of those is regarding to our Bella Life sessions, where the moms can start to, plan out the next couple milestones that are going to happen in the baby's life. And we're more than happy to be that family photographer for them and provide them with gorgeous photos throughout their children's lives.
Yeah. And I think that is just so important, because the newborn shoot and you focus so much on that, but then what happens after? What happens when the baby is a year or even before the year is up?
Yeah, so we love to do cake smash sessions. Those are always so much fun. But even anything in between that, like we do, if the baby starts to crawl, like that's a milestone right there, or, all those first moments that happen, like, even if you're doing just because photos when the baby's only a couple months old, like something new can happen during that session. You just never know when they're so little. So we're so happy to be able to provide moms with a photographic experience all throughout all those first moments.
Right, exactly. And so if somebody likes a photographer that comes to the hospital and they want them to do those next few milestones for them, where do you meet? Do you have a studio or do you go to a park?
Typically with children, the easiest way to do it is at the home or their favorite park. When you photograph young kids in a familiar space, it just helps keep them more comfortable in the situation, because sometimes kids react a little weird to like going to a studio setting or somewhere like that. Like if you have a park where you can kind of distract them with things, and that's where you're able to get those really nice candid moments. And then at the home, they're very comfortable in their home. So they have stuff they might want to show the photographer that could lead up to cute moments in the house. And it keeps them really comfortable when you do it that way.
Yeah, I agree. And for the newborn shoot, we ended up going to a studio both times, but my brother had somebody come to the home. And I think that's really nice, especially because it's a newborn. And mom may not feel like going out just yet within the first week or so.
All of our photographers are trained to do really nice work in a very small space. I mean, we do a whole newborn photo shoot right at the foot of the bed in the hospital room. So even if people are feeling like they may not have the most photographic house, it's like our photographers are trained to create beautiful images in a hospital room. So
where we know the lighting is not good.
Work with,
Right. Exactly.
You have to be very beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to be very talented because the lighting in the hospital room is not great. And you never know what the sunlight is going to provide depending on where your room is and the type of window that is there. Thank you so much, Emily, for joining me today. So tell me again, where can people go for more information on Bella Baby?
So they can go to bellababyphotography.com or they can go to bellababyplan.com/life and use the code PASSPORT.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I look forward to calling you up again really soon. You're welcome. Like I said, my baby is now 2.5 months. I would love to photograph him. I mean, I would photograph him as often as anybody was available because that's just what we do as parents, right? We want all of those milestones. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Holly Todd. She also works with Bella Baby, and she's going to talk to us a little bit more about how they work with the hospitals and their relationship with them to make everything run smoothly. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
We were speaking with Emily Swift, who works with Bella Baby as an amazing photographer, capturing all of those wonderful moments that moms and dads go through as first-time parents, second-time parents, or maybe they're just interested in another big life event being photographed. And now we have with us Holly Todd. She's the photographer lead for Connecticut and the manager and photography for the Yale, Connecticut region. How long have you been with Bella Baby?
Overall, I've been with the company for about 7 years now. 7 wonderful years. It was a great company to work with. I was actually looking through some of the numbers recently, and I have personally photographed with Bella Baby 3,716 families. It's definitely an experience that not many other photographers can bring to the table, and we love what we do doing it.
Right. Absolutely. That is amazing. And so tell me a little bit about your relationship with hospitals, because when I gave birth the first time, there was a different company. I gave birth in New Jersey, and I just loved my experience that I had with you and your company this time around when I gave birth at Yale, New Haven. So how do you work with the hospitals and getting just the best photographers in there to capture those fresh, as they call them, fresh 48 photos within the first 2 days of a child's birth?
So we work really, really closely with the hospitals and providing a boutique service to each hospital and the experience that they want to offer for their patients. So we only work with professional photographers, bringing in people that have a lot of experience, know photography, rather than providing salespeople. And I think that's really important to the relationship with the hospitals, but also to the experience that the patients have with us. We really focus on creating that memorable experience that improves the quality of patient stay while you're there. We're the fun part. We are, between all the blood pressure checks and lactation consultants and diaper changes, which is all extremely important, we get to have 15 minutes with moms just celebrating the new life that they've created and that new member in addition to their families. And we find that if we focus on that, all of the business side of things follow and really just come into place easily, when we're just focused on the new life that's there with us.
Yeah. And it really is, like you said, it's just 15 minutes, but 15 minutes and you can get so many incredible pictures. And it really is so nice to look back on those photos after you leave the hospital because there's so much that's going on when you're there.
Absolutely. And we see that on our side of it. It can be overwhelming and there's a lot going on with a lot of people in and out of the rooms. Plus you want to have your visitors there. But being able to take a moment to have this photo session, it just kind of takes you back and resets, I think, and helps moms to have a little bit of joy in realizing like, wow, we're here together and they're finally here, and we're able to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And I know that you offer packages if you are ready to order in the hospital. I also feel like a lot of moms are just overwhelmed, like we were just talking about. So it's really nice that you offer a link afterwards for parents to go through the photos, maybe when they can think about them a little bit more and decide what to order.
Absolutely. And that's really an important part of what we do when we do partner with the hospitals as well, is we do have those options that families can go through and place their order with us, and they have that instant access to their photos. But sometimes that decision just can't be made right there on the spot. And we really focus on not having, a pushy photographer at the end of your bed, saying, well, you have to buy now or you can't get them at all.
Right.
We really, sometimes you just need to have that time to be able to order from home, and those galleries are available for them to be able to order for the next 2 weeks. And they can share that slideshow that they get with the music, with their friends and family immediately, whether they choose to order anything or not. And I think that's important too, to be able to instantly have that, because I know moms are, getting questions from all different family members and friends asking for photos right away. And it just kind of takes that one thing off of her, like a list of things to do. They can just forward a link and they have all of those great photos that they can share with everyone then.
Exactly. So tell me really quickly about Bella Life, because that's something that you offer even beyond the Fresh 48.
Absolutely. So this is an exciting part about what we do. And, we offer those in-hospital photo sessions with that partnership with the hospital, but we can also do those family photos as your family grows. So we can come to your home, or we can meet up at a park, and we can do family photos as your family grows up. So we have a ability for families to log in and set up a session, and that link is at bellababyplan.com/life, and you can use that Bella code Passport to be able to get into that setup.
I love that, because especially if you find a photographer that you love so much, which I had a very good experience with mine at Yale, then you want to be able to contact them again for that next stage of photos that you'd like to take. Because I was thinking, wow, I have all these maternity photos, newborn photos, Fresh 48 photos, but now my baby's 2.5 months and he looks completely different. And I'd really like to just get a family photo now of the four of us as he is a little older. So thank you so much, Holly, for joining me today. I really enjoyed talking with you and Emily, and I just think Bella Baby is such a wonderful company. And if you're fortunate to give birth at one of the hospitals where you photograph, terrific. And if not, like you said, people can contact you for any type of photo that they'd like to capture. If you are giving birth, maybe you want that Fresh 48 photo shoot, a newborn shoot, or any other photo shoot to capture your family's milestones, just head to bellababyplan.com/life. And if you enter the promo code Passport, you'll receive 3 free prints. That's bellababyplan.com/life. Enter code Passport.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
And I'm so happy to have with me my great friend, Dawn Goldberg. Dawn and I have been friends since college, and I won't say how many years that's been, but it really is amazing. And I have always admired Dawn for the incredible mom that she is, as well as her entrepreneurship and the businesses that she now runs, and why she started her businesses, knowing that she was going to be a mom in the near future. Dawn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for asking me to be on, Michelle.
Sure. So you have 2 boys, 7 and 10. You're a board-certified electrologist and a skincare consultant with Roden and Fields, and also a wonderful wife. So you have a lot going on.
I sure do.
So I've always admired, because I feel like you and I were both into theater and acting when we were in college. And then at one point you just said, you know what, I'm going to start out and I'm going to have my own business because I wanted to work for the family that I'm going to have.
Yes. At a certain point, my priorities shifted, and I thought, what do I want my future to look like? when I hopefully have kids down the road. And that's the point in time when I made the switch into becoming an electrologist.
Yeah. And I know that you were working with your aunt at one point, who is a very well-known electrologist in Manhattan. And then I came to see you and you were just following her in her footsteps. So then when you just went out on your own, I was so thrilled for you because now you have such a thriving business on Long Island.
Yes, thank you so much. I was fortunate to have a great mentor in my aunt. And what really appealed to me when I looked at her lifestyle was, she really enjoyed what she was doing. She felt a tremendous sense of gratitude from helping her clients, and she also had full control over her schedule. My previous career, I really I was in corporate America, and I felt sort of trapped at my desk. I didn't have any flexibility. My husband at the time had very interesting work hours, and it was hard for us to get any kind of time together. So that was an immediate need, like what can I do to free up some time so I can have some days off in common with my husband. And then also looking at down the road, I knew I couldn't keep up the kind of work I was doing. Not to mention there was just something lacking for me. I didn't feel that fulfilled in terms of helping people one-on-one is something that I've always been drawn to. I really love helping people. And I like seeing, giving someone a sort of result that makes them feel better about themselves. My aunt had done electrolysis on me, and I saw how it could really be life-changing. It might sound kind of silly. She first started with my eyebrows, which is, cosmetic and great. Then down the road, I went on a medication that actually stimulated hair growth for me. And then I saw the real need and how, this is a very essential career and you can really, really help people. So,
yeah. You really can. And I know that since I was probably a teen, my mom was taking me to electrologists just because me too, just by nature, by my genetics, whatever you call it, I had some hair growth and I saw, this really works. And it's one of those things that I feel like people don't know just how effective it is until they do it because they hear about laser and they hear about maybe they wax. And it's just, this is one of those things that you really can make a difference in people's lives.
Definitely. And there's so many great methods out there for hair removal, but not everything works well for everyone. And this is a tried and true, method. And for laser, unfortunately, it doesn't always get everything. And so we can finish it up with electrolysis. And not everyone's a great candidate for laser. So there are still electrologists out there providing great service. Sometimes with, people think we're no longer around, but we're here and we're still picking up, the stuff that the laser doesn't get. So it's been great.
Right. Absolutely. And like I said, I admire you for not one, but two businesses that you're involved with, because another business, which if you're a mom or just a woman in general, you've probably heard of Roden and Fields, because I know a bunch of my friends are involved. And I know you have seen tremendous results from building your business around it. And for you, it was just a natural extension for what you're doing now. So tell me a little bit about that business, because I think it's perfect for moms who also are looking for something that's flexible. They need the flexibility. They want the hours with their kids. Maybe they want to be taking their kids to daycare at the same time that someone's placing an order on their website. So just, revenue that can be generated without having to be working all the time.
Yes, it's a really powerful business if you apply yourself to it. I was first introduced to it at a time when I was struggling with rosacea. I've always been blessed, with really great skin, and I developed rosacea in my 20s, and I was sort of panicking watching it progress. I tried a number of products and prescriptions, and nothing was really working for me. And then when I was told there was a new skincare line out that could help with sensitive skin and rosacea while tackling anti-aging, I was like, I got to try this. I try anything, and I was also enthused to hear that it was from the same doctors that created Proactiv, because they've got a great track record. I know they're very smart dermatologists. So I gave it a try, and I loved it. And people were asking me, what do I do for my skin? So, it's like what a natural extension, of course, of what I was already doing.
Right.
I just love connecting people with other people that can help them in their fields or products or services. I mean, just today I connected someone with a realtor. That's kind of like a side part of being an electrologist. So anyway, it was like a perfect fit for me. I could help people with their skin pre-treatment, post-treatment. And, I felt really confident recommending it to people. And then I also knew the appeal of having your own business, being a mom. You want to be there for your kids somewhat. At first, before I became a mom, I thought for a minute I might want to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. And then I realized after a few months at home with the baby, it wasn't really for me. I wanted to have a little bit of both.
Right.
And I saw how Rodan & Fields could bring that to moms. And it's great in that, you choose your own hours, how little or how much you want to work. So if you want this to be a little side business for some extra cash, like a shameless shoe fund, you can do that. But if you want to have a full-fledged business where you're traveling the world and, you're helping many people create their own franchises with the company, you can do that too. It all depends on what you want, and you go at your own pace. Right. And so that's great. It's basically like you could walk in and start it easily because there's a lot of online support.
Yes.
And it's also international now. We're in Canada and Australia. And so there's a lot you can do from your phone. I mean, just last week I was at the beach and I helped an old coworker of mine with products, and I was sitting on the beach with my husband, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, the company ships the products to the customers. If there's any issue with if it's not the right product for them or whatnot, we have people in corporate dealing with all that, all the headaches that you might have as a small business owner. And so it makes it a very feasible opportunity for moms.
Right, which is really what we need. We need something that we're not going to get bogged down with all of the minutia of a small business because, quite frankly, we just don't have the time. And I'm with you. At first I always thought, I'll be a stay-at-home mom. And then you realize how much college is going to cost and how much other things and just your own passions that you don't want to lose those either just because you're a mom. So
True.
I think this is a great business. If somebody is looking to get involved who is a mom and just looking for those flexible hours, can people reach out to you directly if they would like some guidance on how to get started?
Oh, definitely. I'm always happy to help people get started. And the really great thing about this business is me as a consultant, I don't get rewarded unless I help people be successful. And I think that's just like such an amazing thing. So, there's motivation in helping people, and it creates a lot of community. And I mean, I feel, it really is true. It is better, I think, to give than to get. I mean, I get so much from helping people, so and it doesn't hurt that I'll get a paycheck for it. Right. Which allows me to then have more time to be present for my kids and take them to and from their activities and help them with their homework and things like that. But yes, people can definitely reach out to me directly. I'd love to tell them about it if they're interested. Great.
How can people reach you?
They can go to my website. It is D Goldberg, DGOLDBERG. .myRandF.biz, and they can read a little bit about the business there, and all my contact info is on there.
Perfect. So I want to talk about just like parenting topics that we're encountering as new parents, and I think we'll do that in the next segment. But I just want to ask you a little bit more, even if people aren't looking to maybe start a business right now, but they are looking for anti-aging products, like you mentioned, because we are getting older. And as moms, we do show it a lot more. I used to always joke that when I'd go through online dating profiles of guys, I would know who had kids and who didn't just based on their look and their age.
True.
But so what are some of the products that Rodan and Fields really are proud of that can help with anti-aging?
Okay, well, everything we sell has anti-aging in it, which is really great, and we're a regimen-based company. So basically the doctors, they're still practicing dermatologists in California, and they got together and said, what are the main reasons why people come into our office? And one is acne, one is sun damage, and dark marks and melasma, which can come as a result of pregnancy. Another is sensitivity, and the other one is strictly anti-aging. So we have different regimens for that. And to get the best result, you really need to apply yourself and use a regimen morning and night. I mean, we're not marketing like one quick fix in a bottle and then it's going to be overnight results. It's all about taking care of your skin on a daily basis, and definitely sunscreen all the way. And then for some people, they're just not ready to commit to a regimen. So we do have masks now, which are a lot of fun. We have one for each of those skin concerns. And for anti-aging, I know that's what you were asking about. Everyone, I feel, should be using an eye cream at a minimum. The skin is very thin around the eyes and prone to fine lines and wrinkles. Often that's where we first see the signs. Yeah. So we have a great eye cream, and also this is a kind of funny tidbit. Yesterday I was with a friend, and she asked me if I was okay because she said, your eyes look puffy, and they're normally not this puffy. And I said, I ran out of my eye gel, which is, we have this eye cream gel from Rodan and Fields, and it deals with the puffiness under the eyes, which we can get. And I said, and I guess it really does work.
Right.
I just got it back. I got it shipped to me yesterday. I was kind of like slacking summer, whatever, got tied up with the kids and their activities. And I said, and so now, this will go away, but I'm really okay. I haven't been crying or anything.
So you're like a walking model for the brand.
Well, it's kind of cliche, but when you become a consultant, they say you're like a brand ambassador. So another product that we have that is my favorite that I said I absolutely didn't need when it came out was this lash serum called Lash Boost. I was like, my lashes are fine. And now people are like, where do you get your lash extensions? I'm like, no, these are mine. I don't have time for lash extensions. I have kids.
It's so funny because I was just going to say you have the greatest lashes, and I know you were telling me it's from the product that you're using there. So I want to continue talking with you. I know we have so much to talk about, and we always chat about kids, and I always look to you, to what you're doing, because your boys are older than mine. And so in the next segment, I just want to talk about I'm curious from your perspective, looking back now over the 10 years that you've been a mom, at what age do you feel it's been the most challenging? We're talking with Dawn Goldberg. She is an electrologist on Long Island, New York, and she also is a consultant for Rodan and Fields and a mom of two wonderful boys, 7 and 10 years old. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Talking with my great friend Dawn Goldberg, and she was telling us all about the amazing products from Rodan and Fields, how she has become her own businesswoman while balancing motherhood. And I've always looked to Dawn because her boys are older than my kids. She has a 7 and a 10-year-old, and mine are just not even 2.5 and 2.5 months. So Dawn, I'm just curious, looking back over the 10 years that you've been a mom so far, what years do you feel have been the most challenging? Are there certain years that have been, or do each of the years bring their own challenges?
Well, everyone always says, like, small kids, small problems, big kids, bigger problems. Mm-hmm. And I think it all depends on the person. Like, for me, anyone that knows me knows I really value my sleep. So the beginning for me was really rough, adjusting to working on very few hours of sleep. And then it's a lot of, manual labor, as you want to say. We're changing diapers, we're doing everything for the child. And so for me personally, I think infancy and toddlerhood was the hardest. And then now as they're getting older, it becomes, more emotional support and then, academic. So, we're dealing with all of that, social, emotional, academic, all of that stuff. So, that can be definitely more complicated. It's not, just like the physical stuff of, you got to do everything for the small child that, can't really take care of themselves. But yeah, I definitely think for me personally, it was the beginning, and there's so much joy in having an infant and a baby and a toddler, but that was pretty hard for me. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that's comforting to hear, because I feel like as new parents, a lot of us are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. And then we're, going on about the terrible twos and all this. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking this is probably nothing compared to as they get older. Like I can't even fathom sitting down and doing homework with them. And then when they get to I don't remember anything from school as well as I did. Now, if you sit me down with math and science, I hope I can help my kids with their homework.
It gets to a point now, because there's the Common Core in New York, where you just have to check out and say, you know what, I wasn't taught this way. You got to go to extra help or see your teacher. Right. And it really is true that the way they're teaching them is very different from the way we learned. And so that's where tutors come in and extra help and all of that if they need that. I say there's never any shame in that. I was never a math whiz myself. Right. That's the main place where I'm stumped. But, now my older one is starting middle school, and I'm sure there are going to be many challenges ahead. Personally, I remember middle school being probably the hardest time in my childhood. Yes. So I'm kind of bracing myself for that. And puberty and all of that is ahead. I was talking to a client earlier today who is a mom of 5. Wow. And her youngest one is 14. The oldest one is having a baby of his own. And, she said, oh, how old are they now? Okay, so I can tell you it's going to get harder. And I was like, okay.
Oh, great.
Everyone has a different path. So one day at a time.
Right, exactly. And they say that you relive high school all over again. And I can tell you, I am not looking forward to that. I see now the dynamics of some of the moms who pick their kids up at daycare. And I don't understand why people can't just be really friendly and like, hey, how you doing? And just talk to each other and make mom friends. But you could already tell the really strong personality of some moms there who are just very abrasive. And I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm reliving a lot of my childhood traumas through my kids. And it's that much harder when it's your kid, because it's like, oh my God, it's your kid. Your heart is like all wrapped up, and it's very hard to sit back and watch it play out without getting overly involved. But I agree with you. Sometimes I stop and say, wait, like we're not in high school anymore. Why can't we all just get along?
Right, exactly. But I feel like a lot of people still are in that high school mentality, or they go back to it, like you were saying. So, we will obviously always be friends. And so hopefully the next few years for you aren't so difficult. And I'm going to continue to look up to you as my kids get older, because I think you've been a fabulous mom. Dawn, thank you so much again for joining me on the show. Tell everybody one more time where they can go if they want to connect with you for Rodan and Fields.
Sure. We have actually 2 websites. The first one is dgoldberg.myranf.biz, and the other one has the same beginning, and it's .com if you want to check out the products. And my contact info is on both of those sites.
Perfect. Dawn Goldberg, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. Thank you for spending the past hour with us. Always enjoyable speaking about all kinds of parenting topics. And if there's anything that you want to hear on the show, feel free to drop me an email, michelle@passportmommy.com. Have a great rest of your day.